All right, let's dive right in. We're going to spend the next few minutes unpacking how Symantec Endpoint Security is completely changing the game in cyber defense. We'll explore what it takes for a modern security platform to be truly effective against the kind of sophisticated threats we're all facing today.
So, we have to start with this huge question, right? Companies are pouring more money into cybersecurity than ever before, but somehow we're hearing about major breaches almost every day. What's the deal? Well, the answer isn't just about spending more. It's about spending smarter on the right kind of protection that can actually outthink today's attackers.
And here's the real challenge. The core of the problem is that attackers have completely changed their playbook. They're now living off the land. That means they're using legitimate tools that are already on your computers, things like PowerShell, a standard Windows tool, to do their dirty work. And because they're using your own tools against you, their activity looks totally normal, making them basically invisible to traditional security.
So, to really get a handle on how Symantec is taking on this modern threat landscape, we're going to break it down into 6 parts. We'll start with this new cyber battlefield, then jump into Symantec's defense strategy. We'll go inside their digital fortress, look at the different protection tiers, check out the hard evidence, and finally, take a peek at the autonomous future of security.
Okay, so how is Symantec responding to this challenge? The answer is Symantec Endpoint Security, or SES for short. Now, this is really important. This isn't just a simple update to the old Symantec Endpoint Protection, or SEP, that you might know. It's a total evolution. Think of it less as a version 2.0 and more of a complete reinvention, built from the ground up as a single AI-powered platform for this new world of attacks.
So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it's all about making things simpler and more powerful at the same time. Gone are the days of juggling multiple agents and complicated dashboards. SES uses one single, lightweight agent for everything: your laptops, your servers, even your phones. And it's all managed from one easy-to-use cloud console, with AI doing the heavy lifting to make smarter, faster decisions.
Okay, so how does SES actually stop these super advanced threats? Let's peel back the layers on what Symantec calls its digital fortress. The whole strategy is to build these interlocking layers of defense that cover every single stage of a potential attack, from the moment a hacker starts sniffing around to the very end. And this right here, this visual, gets to the heart of the philosophy. See, modern security isn't just about catching a virus after it's already running. It's about getting ahead of the game. It's about hardening your systems before an attack, preventing the attack itself, containing any breach to stop the damage from spreading, and if something does get through, having the tools to deal with.
So, where does it all start? The very first layer is all about being proactive. It's called attack surface reduction, which is just a fancy way of saying it makes you a much harder target. It's constantly scanning your entire environment for weak spots, vulnerabilities, risky settings, problems in Active Directory, so you can lock those doors before an attacker even tries to rattle the handle.
And one of the coolest features here is something called adaptive protection. This is Symantec's direct answer to those living off the land attacks we talked about. First, its AI just watches and learns what's normal in your company. Then it hardens your defenses by spotting things that are risky but rarely happen, like, say, Microsoft Word trying to run a powerful script. Finally, it can autonomously apply new rules to block those weird behaviors, cutting off attack paths without getting in your employees' way.
Next up, we've got the attack prevention layer. This is all about stopping threats dead in their tracks before they can even run. And the key here is that it's not a one-trick pony. It uses this powerful combo of machine learning to spot brand new malware and behavioral analysis to catch suspicious activity. This multi-layered approach is absolutely critical for stopping both old-school viruses and those sneaky, fileless attacks that are so popular now.
Now this is where things get really clever. The breach prevention layer. Its whole job is to make sure a small problem doesn't turn into a full-blown, network-wide disaster. It's designed to contain an attacker right away, using intrusion prevention and, this is the really cool part, a unique deception defense for Active Directory to stop them from moving around your network.
Okay, you have to hear about this Active Directory security. It is a total game changer. Instead of just building walls around your AD, it sets up a trap. It shows attackers a fake, but totally believable, version of your network resources. The second they try to touch a fake admin account or a fake server, bam, a high-priority alarm goes off. It literally turns your most valuable target into a perfect tripwire.
And for the final layer of defense, what happens if a really determined attacker somehow gets past everything else? That's where EDR, or Endpoint Detection and Response, comes in. This is your safety net,
It's like the CSI team for your computers, giving your security pros all the tools they need to investigate what happened, hunt down the attacker, and clean up the mess completely. So Symantec packages all this amazing tech into two main flavors, SES Enterprise and SES Complete. Let's do a quick comparison because picking the right one really depends on what your organization needs and how mature your security team is.
Think of SES Enterprise as your heavy-duty foundational protection. It's got incredibly strong prevention. But SES Complete, well, that's the whole shebang. It adds all the top-tier stuff we just talked about. So the bottom line is, if you need the full EDR platform, that amazing Active Directory deception, managed threat hunting, and complete control over adaptive protection, then SES Complete is definitely the way to go.
Now, all these features sound fantastic, but talk is cheap, right? So what does the independent evidence say? Let's look at the proof, the hard numbers from third-party testing labs, and the real-world financial impact.
First up, the raw protection score. In the super respected AV test evaluations, Symantec Endpoint Security Complete scored a perfect 100%. 100%. I mean, you literally can't get any better than that. It didn't miss a thing, which is why it earned their top product badge.
But just as important is the other side of that coin, false positives. In the incredibly tough ransomware test from SE Labs, SS Complete not only stopped every attack, but it did it with 0 false positives. For any security team that's already swamped with alerts, that is huge. It means when an alarm goes off, you know it's real. And the customer's stories tell the exact same story. Check out this quote from a Forrester study. A director at a credit company said they saw a 1,000% improvement in terms of visibility and detection. 1,000%. They were suddenly seen and stopping threats they never even knew they had. Wow.
And it's not just about better security, it's about the bottom line. That same Forrester study calculated the financial impact, and the number is just staggering, a 437% return on investment over 3 years. And the best part? The whole thing pays for itself in less than 6 months. That's a number any CFO would love to see.
So you might be wondering, where does that incredible ROI actually come from? Well, the study broke down the $5.4 million in benefits into 3 main buckets. The lion's share, a whopping $3.5 million, comes from just not getting breached. Another $1.1 million comes from being able to retire other security tools you don't need anymore. And finally, you save almost $800,000 just by making your security team way more efficient.
Okay, for our last section, let's pull back the lens a bit. Because great endpoint security is awesome, but it doesn't exist in a bubble. Let's see how SES fits into a much bigger, more connected vision for the future of cybersecurity.
This slide really shows that big picture. See, SES isn't just an island, it's a foundational piece of a much larger ecosystem, Symantec's integrated cyber defense platform. It talks to and works with your security for web, for email, for your data, and for your users' identities. By sharing intelligence, they create a defense that is so much stronger than the sum of its parts.
And that brings us to our final thought. The whole world of security is shifting towards this autonomous, AI-driven future where our defenses can learn, adapt, and respond all on their own. The technology we've looked at today is a massive leap in that direction, and it leaves us all with a pretty critical question to think about. Is your defense evolving fast enough to keep up?